I'm Dorothy Godin, broker with Remax Crown Realty here in Sudbury, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts. Well, we've almost 2 weeks into June, and the market is just booming. And I know, like I said, you hear, everything down south about prices softening. This is not the case here in Sudbury. So far this month, the average sale price is hovering around that 530,000. Average days on the market, 17 days. And on average, we're seeing sale prices 4% above list price. The most competitive market right now is the 400 to 600 market, and it represents about 55.9% of the recent sales within the city of Greater Sudbury, and that's residential sales, of course. So, more than half of the sales are in that 400 to 600 range, and that average sale price is 491. That average days on the market is 14 days. And on average, in that price range, in the 400 to 600, they're seeing sale prices 6.5% above list price. So it's not crazy like the pandemic where we saw 20% over list price and 22% over list price, but 6.5% over list price is not nothing. It's very, very competitive. And in that price range, 76.5% of everything is selling at or above a list price. So very, very difficult to be a buyer in that price range, but don't give up. I've had many buyers who have been successful in buying in that price range. You have to have patience. You have to be crystal clear about your budget and respect that budget. And now that you know in that price range, things sell, 6.7% on average above list price. If your budget is 450, you cannot look at houses that are listed at 450 unless they've been on the market for a couple of weeks, which we don't really see that very often. When we see that the average sale price is not average sale price, but average days on the market is 14 days. Remember that for the most part, most sellers are holding off on offers. So, for example, today I have a new listing coming up. We are not going to look at offers till early next week. And that gives all the buyers an opportunity to get in. And of course, the sellers are hoping for multiple offers. Doesn't always happen, but in that price range, like I say, 76.5% of the sales are at or above list price. So very competitive market. But as I say, as a buyer, don't give up. You have to be patient, be crystal clear about your budget and respect that budget and work the market, knowing that, most things are selling over and they're getting multiple offers. Come in as clean as you can. And I know that's a very difficult one. And I struggle with that because I think the financing clause, unless you're a cash buyer, you should have the financing clause in there. I think that people should be doing a home inspection and maybe do a pre-inspection. It's the one thing I don't like about this market and that price range where people are coming in with no conditions. And I feel that as a buyer, particularly a first-time home buyer, like it's important to do a home inspection. So you maybe want to do a pre-inspection. It's a very, very difficult market to get into as a first-time home buyer. But remember, people who bought last year said the same thing. They had to be patient, they had to wait, and they're happy that they bought because year-to-date average sale price is up 9%. So, even last year's buyers were saying, oh my God, the prices are so high. 4 years ago, people were saying, it's just so hard to get in the market and it's so expensive, but they got in. People are happy, even though when they were buying in the last, 4 or 5 years, they were saying how hard it is and how expensive it is. They look now at the prices and they're saying, man, I'm happy I got into the market. So as a buyer, don't give up. Keep on trucking. There's going to be a right house for you and the right situation will come along. You just, have to be patient. So I hope you find this helpful. I think the June numbers are going to be fantastic. Our prices are not going down. I don't foresee them going down. As always, it's a lack of inventory for us here in Sudbury. So have a great week. As always, you can reach me at Dorothy Godin at remax.net or 705-561-2360. Have a good one.